Hey, welcome to the Ant-Man channel. It is Wednesday, the 24th of July, 2013, or what they call, what the hipsters call Hump Day. Um, I have in front of me a very bizarre. It's gonna make you do the eyes that I always put on my description on my videos. The Google eyes or whatever you want to call them. The one's bigger than the other. Like you're like what? This article is gonna make you do that because when I read this, I was like, no, get out of here. But this is a pretty trustworthy news source. I got this from clashdaily.com. Go check it out. It's actually a really cool website. I'm surprised to get articles from other websites other than WND because they're not as interesting. It's just not on point. Like the news covering the royal baby type stuff. Like, get out of here, man. Really? Like, I mean, I feel bad for people out there if they really care about that stuff, man. I mean, because these British people, these monarchs, are no good. The Queen of England is no good, dude. And for you to be worshipping her is like really creepy to me. Like that people even care about that stuff. But if it's force fed down your throat, I guess you have no other choice if that's all you've ever been told. So that's why I do what I do. But anyway, this article is called "Open the Floodgates." Pedophiles arguing their sexual orientation is no different than homosexuals. Before I read this, I'm just going to say that I always say this, and man, I love everybody, okay? I don't care what you're into, alright? My mentor is Christ, and he tells me to love everyone like he loves the church. And that's a big statement coming from Christ, saying that you should love everyone no matter what, unconditionally. But I say this all the time. I say that homosexuality leads to pedophilia. Because it's perversion. If you're perverted, you will keep going down that route. Because it's an insatiable desire. You never are satisfied by these cravings of the flesh. You're never satisfied. So you're going to keep going down this road until you discover something else. Until you're giving up. You're no longer hungry for just guys or girls or whatever. You're hungry for kids. And that, my friend, is the line between creepazoid and just confused. You could be confused, but then you could be also a creepazoid. And see, the opportunists are jumping out of the woodwork nowadays. You're starting to really weed out the really sick people out there, man. Because with all this justifying, racism, justifying abortion, everything you could think of. Now the opportunists are going to jump out and say, I could justify pedophilia now. Because everyone's justifying something now. So this is the immorality of our society now in the U.S. Totally out of control. But anyway, I'm going to read this. Using the same tactics used by gay rights activists, pedophiles have begun to seek similar status, arguing their desire for children is a sexual orientation no different than heterosexual or homosexuals. Get out of here with that. It's totally disgusting for you to compare yourself to me. I'm a heterosexual. I love women. But I don't need to say that. But you know what I mean? I'm not all up in your face like the gay community about their sexual orientation and their cop-out of, I was born like that. No, okay, maybe there is scientific evidence that you, as a man, can be born with a low testosterone count. That's true. Does that mean you're gay? No, it doesn't mean you're gay. It just means that you don't have a lot of testosterone. You need help for that. Okay? You're confused. Critics of the homosexual lifestyle have long claimed that once it became acceptable to identify homosexuality as simply as an alternative lifestyle, it's like trendy to kids now. It's like, oh yeah, you can like girls? Okay. It's like, it's trendy now. It makes you stand out. And what do kids want to do? They want to stand out. They want to be popular, It's just a normal thing we go through when we're in school. And of course they're going to want to... I've seen girls hold hands in, the mall. It's really creepy, man. Like, young girls, too. Like, underage, holding hands, walking around the mall. It's like, oh, no. But anyways. What was I at? Sexual orientation. Logically, nothing would be off limits. Gay advocates have taken offense at such a position, insisting this would never happen. However, psychiatrists are now beginning to advocate redefining pedophilia in the same way homosexuality was redefined several years ago. It's a very short article. But what direction are we going in? We're going in the psychiatrists. Psychiatrists. You mean psychiatry that was invented during what, like the Ronald Reagan administration, where there was people who were. I mean, if you look into Charlotte Iserby, she's an elderly woman, but very very lovely. She's very nice. She speaks out because she used to work for the Ronald Reagan administration. She speaks out about how education was meant to dumb you down, and that's coming from the straight top. You know what I mean? But the psychiatrists, therapy, that whole like psycho analyzing people bull crap is not real, you guys. All of that, you need a therapist stuff is so stupid. You know, pretty soon the psychiatrists are going to be saying us Christians are out of our minds. I hope you know that. They're going to be telling you that. And the idiots are going to believe it. And yes, my friend, it's all about us. They don't like us. So feel special about it. In 1973, the American Psychiatric Association declassified homosexuality from its list of mental disorders. A group of psychiatrists with B4U Act B4U Act recently held a symposium proposing a new definition of pedophilia in the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Health Disorders of the APA. B4U Act calls pedophiles minor attracted people. The organization's website states its purpose is to help mental health professionals learn more about attraction of minors and to consider the effects of stereotyping, stigma, and fear. No, that's just weird, man. Let your kids grow up and go to school before they start getting knocked up, you know? That's the problem with parenting nowadays in general, is that your kids are not being taught anything, and then everything's just about, hey, have kids, have kids, have kids. That's why we're in the mess we're in, because we're not learning anything, but we're pumping kids out by the millions, and it's like, and I don't have anything against that. I love that. I love new generations perpetually going on and growing up in this country. There's plenty of room for all of us, no matter what Bill Gates says or, all these eugenicists, the depopulation control people. There's plenty of room on the earth for all of us. Just don't get your panties in a bunch if I said that. Because, it's just that's the truth. There's something more important than finding a man or a woman and having sex and having kids. Maybe you should take care of yourself before you go and do that, so that you can't take care of other people if you don't even know how to take care of yourself. Let's just do some basic math here. In 1998, the APA issued a report claiming that the negative potential of adult sex with children was overstated, and that the vast majority of both men and women reported no negative sexual effects from childhood sexual abuse experiences. That's a lie, because if you look at the statistics between kids that are brought up by two dads, or parents that split up, or two women, these people are, statistically, they commit the most suicide. They're the ones that go off the deep end because they're totally confused about life, man, and it's just sad. It's a real statistic. Go look it up. I'm not just making this stuff up. I'm not smart enough to make stuff like this up. Anyways, we're going back to like the 1600s, the Middle Ages, where we can just, if you see a 10-year-old, you could be like, You know what I mean? Like, it's just so ugly and weird. I can't believe my eyes that this is happening. Pedophilia has always been granted protected status by the federal government. That's a shocker. The Matthew Shepard and James Byrd Jr. Hate Crimes Prevention Act lists sexual orientation as a protected class. However, it does not define the term. Republicans attempted to add an amendment specifying that pedophilia is not covered as an orientation. However, the amendment was defeated by Democrats. Representative of Democrats Alcee Hastings, Garbage, Democrat of Florida, stated that all alternative sexual lifestyles should be protected under the law. This bill addresses our resolve to end violence based on prejudice and to guarantee that all Americans, regardless of race, color, religion, national origin, gender, sexual orientation, gender identity, or disability, or all of these philias and fetishes and isms that were put forward need to not live in fear because of who they are. I urge my colleagues to vote in favor of this rule. And this fool said something brilliant. I don't call him a fool, but call him a dude. This dude he commented on this so brilliantly. So if I like to shoot pedophiles, is it okay? I just have I just have a shoot pedophiles gene. Well, I mean, that's what it is. It's the atheistic way of thinking. They say, I am the moral status, or I set the moral standard in my world. I decide what's right and wrong. You know what the problem with that is, with the atheists, is that I could poke a hole in that logic and say, well, then I'm going to shoot you in 10 seconds. Because I want to. Because I believe that that is right in my world. You see? There's perpetual violence, perpetual perversion, perpetual everything bad when you take away the just morality of who decides what's good and bad. Where do we even get the notion of something being good or bad? There is only one, and that is God. There is no other subject in the world that brings up morality better than God, because He's the one that pointed us to it. He said, oh yeah, that's good, that's bad, and that's why people don't like God telling them what to do, because they have a burning, unsatiable desire that is a deceptible one of the heart to tell them that they like little kids and that it's okay. It's totally disgusting. And if I see that, you better believe that there's going to be some tar and feathering going on, because that's not right, okay? I'm going to protect my kids. I don't have kids, but I'm going to protect people around me from people that are freaking out of their mind. And I think that you should too. And don't be afraid of other people saying, that's not very Christian. Oh, 10 Commandments. I'm an atheist, but here's the 10 Commandments. You're supposed to follow them. Well, then, you're poking a hole in your own logic, atheists. I don't know if it's the fact that you don't want to believe in God or that you just don't believe in God, because it seems like you do, but you don't want to accept the fact that you have to, not have to, but accept the fact that His Word is true. It is the truth. But anyways, you guys out there, educate people, empower each other. Who are you empowering today? Anyways, God bless you.